biblical time period, and we actually can break this down as we're living our everyday life. You know, the common things that are part of our journey are playing a role biblically at this time. We're living in the rapture, and in today's lesson, we're going to be breaking it down. We're going to be talking about the seal in the forehead, what the rapture is, graduation. Congratulations, Light Warriors, you're graduating this time. Not everyone graduates all the time, but during this cycle, you are. We're going to talk about massive changes coming up. We're going to say that it's a very spiritual and interesting time period. All will be revealed. You know, you kind of heard of these terms. And this isn't just some spiritual mumbo-jumbo stuff. All will be revealed at this time. There's just so much light. And light is information. And when you're in the darkness, you don't have the information to navigate. But with all this incoming light, all is going to be revealed. We're going to understand and overstand that there really is no determining factor going through the rapture. It's just a spiritual aspect. And we talked about it for a very long time last night on our Zoom meeting. And if you'd like to be part of our Patreon, the link is in the description. And if you missed the Zoom meeting, the copy of our Zoom meeting is up on Patreon. And we went really into detail about this last night and so much more. But this is a very important lesson. I encourage you, especially if you might be new to the channel, because you know, you hear certain things, but you have to hear the whole thing in order to get the full lesson. I encourage you to practice spiritual stamina at this time and listen to the entire message so that we could have a clear, crystal clear understanding. So please smash the like button. Let's give our brothers and sisters another minute to come on. Let's recalibrate ourselves. Massive changes are about to happen, and we're able to realize this. Remember, the truth cannot be told, it can only be realized. And we have to realize it through first-hand experience. And that's why we're having all of these stanimas, all of these changes that are happening. And we have to practice spiritual stamina at this time. So we gave everyone enough time to get on. If you haven't done so already, please smash the like button. It's going to help others find this message. If you haven't done so, please, through free will, of course, subscribe to the channel. Click the bell next to subscribe and select all. You get all the updates. We're going through the total collapse of the Matrix Society.
YubiKey acts as a physical two-factor authentication for email, YouTube, Twitter, Dropbox, password managers, and many more to help you protect your online accounts. There's no copy
So there's a lot of information that we need to take in. So we have daily videos. So subscribe and click that bell and select all. You'll see them every single day. If you'd like to join our Patreon, we have live Zoom meetings. The link is in the description and the link is pinned above if you'd like to support the channel. We're about to go through massive changes, and change is painful. Once again, change is painful, and a lot of people don't want to change because there's a lot of pain. And the only way that we change as an individual or a society is when the pain of remaining the same exceeds the pain of change. Once again, when the pain of remaining the same exceeds the pain of change, then we start to make that change. Because I know, listen, none of us want to change. And that's why we're going through this massive shaking. God is shaking us to our core right now. Civilization, society is being broken down to the basic atoms, basically. We're being broken down. How do we thrive at this time period? You know, I was sharing last night, we used to say, or I used to say, what's the meaning of life? It was like a big question, right? If you're living in the matrix life, you say, what's the meaning of life? You know, they lie to you, you think you die and that's it and all this other stuff. But the meaning of life is actually soul growth. We're actually past that question. Like when I was younger, when I was in my 20s, I always thought very deeply. And I said to myself, what's the meaning of life? It was such a big question for me. Now it's like I'm past that, right? We're past that. We know the meaning of life. You're here in Earth School for your soul growth. And that's the only thing that matters, actually, is the growth of your soul. And when we just keep repeating the same thing, we do the same thing over and over again, remember, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different outcome. So that's why the best way to navigate this time period is starting to be in tune with your soul and start doing new things. Cheddar Biscuit, thank you so much for the support. And the day came when the risk to remain tight in a bud was more painful than the risk it took to blossom. Oh, that's a beautiful quote. Thank you so much for sharing that. Joe, thank you so much for the support. Thank you, as always, Michael. Gratitude to you and everyone being their authentic selves, always holding the vision. I see it every day. Thank you so much for the support. I love you guys. So it's all about change right now. It's all about soul's growth. We're going through the rapture right now. This is a biblical time. We've known this. There's nothing that we could do. This is prophesized, right? This is God's time now. We're on God's time. It's not my time. It's not your time. Oh, it's not the false idol's time. It's God's time. And this is the rapture. Sorting of the wheat and the tares. You know about that? Sorting the wheat and the tares. There is a spiritual aspect to this rapture. There's a spiritual aspect. And it's something within the soul or within the spirit that is a determining factor. You know, there's a lot of different things, and if you're learning something new, continue to smash the like button as you're coming in. These things don't determine making the shift or not. You know, it doesn't matter if you maybe took an experiment or not. It's not determined by who you voted for. It's not determined by your religion, your race, your age, right? We actually share about the Hopi prophecy, the Rainbow Warriors. And we're different colors, classes, and creeds, and we're here during this extinction event in order to maintain society and bring forth the new earth. And this is all about the seal in the forehead. You know, I shared about the seal in the forehead a lot of times. And we're able to overcome. All of these things are not a determining factor. There is a spiritual aspect. This seal in the forehead at this time. We're witnessing people lose their minds. Are you witnessing people lose their minds in these final days? You might be witnessing this, and you could share it in the chat. It's an eye-opening time when you actually see this. What is the determining factors, you know? But the seal in the forehead. You have to be sealed at this time. You have to remember, the crowd is the matrix. And they've implanted subconscious programs. So the people in your life will try to bring you back down into the matrix. And there is a need for spiritual stamina. So they said in the rapture, right? One is taken, one remains, right? One is taken, one remains. What does this mean? One is taken, right, to the new earth, one remains in the matrix. This is the time period. Again, not everything has to be literal. I know a lot of people, when they hear about the rapture and they think about people just like going up into the sky, it doesn't have to be literal. You know, people are having massive dreams about a tsunami wave coming in real soon. But it doesn't have to be literal. It's not literal things. These things can be energetic. An energetic tsunami of light is coming in. So this seal in the forehead is protecting us because the pineal gland, for example, can be hijacked. Once again, the pineal gland can be hijacked. They spoke about this in the Hopi blue star prophecy. They spoke about this time. They said that people would be dead in the eyes. Do you remember the Hopi blue star prophecy? We shared about this on our channel a long time ago. You could visit the channel page. Hopi, and look it up yourself. Do the research. Hopi blue star prophecy. And they said how people would be dead in the eyes. And it's very interesting how this is all coming together right now. And you have to stay sealed in the forehead. You want to be able to navigate this time period. When you're sealed in the forehead, you can't look at. There's a lot of deception right now. There's a lot of confusion right now. You can't look at things. You have to see through. You have to see through these things. And I told you a long time ago, don't trust anyone until the end. Because you came here for this mission, soldier. We're generals. And we're here marching forth to create this new earth. And don't trust anyone. You have to trust yourself. There's nothing out there but you. A lot of you like kind of know this, like we live in a hologram, for example. There's a mathematical matrix, and you know, certain things like karma, right? These things that loop back to us because it's an electromagnetic signature that loops back within the spiral. That's how, for example, people are able to almost predict the future. A lot of times we can't predict the time or the day. Remember, they said no one could predict the day or time. But we could see the upcoming events because it's in the ether, and people are able to tune and actually see this fabric of the spiral. Remember, linear time is fake, but everything has seasons and cycles, and things are cyclical. So we're able to see or tap in or tune into this frequency of the broadcast in the ether, and that's how we're able to have a feeling, if you will. We have a feeling of what's coming up. A lot of people, they've been having these massive ascension symptoms. They're starting to calm down. It's giving us that preparation. It's giving us this early warning signal that something's about to happen. It doesn't have to be fearful. Remember, it's about your perception, depending on what timeline you're on, or what is your vibrational frequency at your core. We go back to the heart chakra. If you're new to this, the heart chakra emits an electromagnetic field 5,000 times greater than your brain. Chakra also does not mean spiritual wackadoo. No, it means spinning wheel of energy in the ancient Sanskrit. We were lied about our past. You know, we actually already went through an extinction event. It's cyclical. And we had very advanced societies. Every time, and this happened in the past, every time technology overtakes spirituality, the society collapses. That's why we're here holding the line right now. We shared about this last night. There is nothing that's good or bad. It's about the energy behind it. Technology can be a very good thing. Technology is not a bad thing. It can be very bad if you fall. It depends on how it's used. We're using technology right now for the good of humanity. Money is the same thing. Currency. Remember, the currency of the universe is your attention. This is all energy right now. It's an energy exchange. So when we had these subconscious programs that were implanted within us, we have to remove these programs so that we can thrive during these massive events that are about to happen. You ain't seen nothing yet. A lot of you that have been on the journey are already familiar with Dolores Cannon. I really speak about her a lot because, and everyone that has listened to her, remember, she has passed away. She's no longer alive right now, but everything she said reads like a book to what's happening right now. And that's why we know what's coming up, because the things that she already predicted have already happened. The seal on the forehead is important. We're not going back. And it protects us so we don't get tricked or deceived. Remember, they said that there will be a great illusion that's cast, and that's why you need the seal in the forehead at this time. You don't want to get tricked in by the matrix, by the crowd. Your coworkers, your friends, your family, they want to pull you back down into the matrix. Come here. Remember, you're emitting a field from your body. You have so much energy. And all of these concepts, you might have heard of things like loosh. You ever hear about loosh? Energy vampires. Narcissists. You ever hear about narcissists? That's a more common term. Some people like the spiritual phrases. You know, you like the loosh. You like the energy vampires. But in the world, there's narcissists that feed off the empaths. Nathalie. Thank you so much. I love you, Nathalie. Hello, new in the community, on the path for decades, and I noticed that people living totally in the matrix, following these rules are okay. Only people having a spiritual path are suffering on earth. Thank you so much for sharing that. And again, it's the perception. There's a lot of suffering because, we also have expectations. I've shared, Nathalie, before this, that I said the people that have woken up in the 70s and the 80s, I said, God bless you. You're still here. You were awake this whole time. And it's happening. You have to have a lot of spiritual stamina. I'm actually grateful that I didn't wake up even earlier than I did. I woke up. You ready? And that's why there's no right or wrong to this. Because you came in with a soul contract. Again, it's going to collapse because we hit critical mass. It's over. You woke up in divine timing. I woke up in divine timing. I know people woke up before me, and people are waking up after me. And there's no right or wrong to that. It's all divine timing because it's not just about me. It's about all of us together. That's why we're the 144,000. We're sealed in the forehead for this moment in time. Ohio Heart of the USA, thank you so much for the support. Ohio Heart, I love you. Critical mass is needed to cause the change. And that's why, when they implanted these subconscious programs, they really etched into the ego. We've shared about this, and I repeat these things because there's always new people on the channel, and it's good through repetition to learn this. The ego is important, but the ego doesn't drive the ship. However, what the Matrix controllers did is they rooted people in the ego. They are totally in their ego, and they rather be right than do the right thing. Isn't that interesting? People, and you'll see them on your journey, they rather be right than do the right thing. And that's why we're seeing this split in empaths and narcissists. We're seeing this split in 3D to 5D. There's so many different terms, and we try to relate to all people during this time period. It's a biblical time period. It's called the rapture. One is taken, one remains. And it's really happening right now. No matter what you say, they can't hear you anymore. So why is it important to disconnect and distance yourself